All right, guys, welcome to the Black Philosophy Matters podcast. Just wanted to touch on something real quick that's been heavy on my mind. And I don't want to be too heavy in this podcast, and I just want to get this information out. But this is something that, as far as a philosophy in the African American community, and this is a problem that I've seen far too often, is the breaking of kinship ties or the breaking of kinship bonds, whichever one you want to call it. What we see far too often in our community are families that are destroyed because of the inability to compromise, for the inability to say I'm sorry, for the inability to take accountability, for the inability to humble ourselves, right? Sometimes when we're dealing with family, we have to put our egos aside, put our egos down, and understand what the other person is saying. In Islam, there's a story of two caves, right? There was a little cave to the right, and there was a big cave to the left. And the big cave had come out of the little cave, and the big cave to the left was very desirous to go back into the little cave, but it couldn't. And what we learn from that lesson and from that that analogy is our speech, what we say, right? Sometimes in a fit of anger, sometimes in rage, right? In our emotions, we say things, right? And once those things come out of our mouths, they can't go back, right? They can't go back. And we know that sometimes there's a saying that the pen is mightier than the sword, right? But we do understand that sometimes that the tongue can cut just as deeply as the sword. So we have to kind of be careful about what we say, right? And that's one of the things that can destroy the kinship bonds. But understanding, we see this quite often in our community, that people feel as though that they have the right to challenge whoever they have a problem with. They feel as though they have a right to have their opinion be heard, right? And it doesn't invalidate you, but in family structures, there is a hierarchy, right? And if you destroy that hierarchy, you'll end up with nothing but chaos, right? You end up with nothing but chaos. And so a lot of my philosophy and a lot of what I put into the Black Philosophy Matters is social conditioning, but it's also religious conditioning. And so this topic here focuses on religious conditioning. There's a concept in the Asian world, I would say it's called filial piety, right? And filial piety is this concept that the younger must honor the older, but in response, the older must show the younger a fantastic example to be followed. Okay, and this is something that we're seeing in the society that is breaking down. That the younger people are not honoring the older people, and the older people are not showing that fantastic example. And so, it's my most sincere desire that with the Black Philosophy Matters podcast and the Black Philosophy Matters book that I'm in the process of writing, that we can bring these ideas back to our community. This idea of filial piety, this idea of a rigid social structure, this idea of love, and this idea of we do not break the kinship bond, right? And we do not, we're not loose with our tongue, so that a huge mess can come out of our tongue, and we're desirous for it to go back. But once it's out there, it's simply out there, and there's nothing that we can do. Okay, so that's just the point that I wanted to make. I wanted to make this video just to engage into the Black Philosophy Matters crew. I hope that you guys have enjoyed, and I want you to put in the comments how you feel about what I said. Was there something that you felt that I missed? Was there something that you felt that I added, that I could add? I would really appreciate to hear your opinion. Okay? All right, guys, remember, keep putting one foot in front of the other, and you will reach your destination. Peace.